The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Glory to you, O Lord. The Jews started arguing with one another. How can this man give us his flesh to eat? Jesus replied, I tell you most solemnly, if you do not eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you will not have life in you. Anyone who does eat my flesh and drink my blood has eternal life, and I shall raise him up on the last day. For my flesh is real food, and my blood is real drink. He who eats my flesh and drinks my blood lives in me, and I live in him. As I, who am sent by the living Father, myself draw life from the Father, so whoever eats me will draw life from me. This is the bread come down from heaven, not like the bread our ancestors ate. They are dead. But anyone who eats this bread will live forever. He taught this doctrine at Capernaum in the synagogue. The Gospel of the Lord. If you do not eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you will not have life in you. I suppose the struggle that we might have from time to time, whenever we hear the word flesh associated with Jesus, associated with his body and blood, it's hard to accept the word flesh. We might more easily accept incarnation. But the Word becoming flesh, God becoming flesh, Jesus becoming flesh, maybe we are filled with all sorts of connotations over the word flesh, all sorts of images. If I were to use the word flesh during carnival time, the association is obvious. And throughout the year even, flesh may have all of the associations of sinful flesh. The flesh and the devil. The sexual struggles, the addictions, all of the difficulties associated with flesh. So maybe a part of us would like the gospel to have a different word than flesh. But that's precisely it. Jesus was both body and spirit, both flesh and spirit, both flesh and God. It's not one without the other. In fact, one without the other is heretical, is a heresy. It's two heresies. And maybe when we can understand that the flesh, if you want, the fleshy struggle with gossip, the fleshy struggle with the sexual, the fleshy struggle with relationships, God became that kind of fleshy struggle. It's not divorced by any means, because if we depart, if we keep a certain social distancing, if you want, from all of the fleshy struggles, we are really making the same mistake by not believing that God was both man and God, having the two natures. And yes, it's going to be a struggle for a long time because of what we cannot accept with our flesh. But that's the way it will have to be. God became all of that so that we could become like him. So today then, let's associate the most difficult struggle, fleshy struggle in our lives. Let's associate that with the mercy of God. God's mercy extends without exception to all fleshy struggles. That's how he redeems our fleshy existence, by descending into the flesh, by exonerating humanity, fleshy existence. And it is in accepting that he comes to exonerate, to be merciful, to forgive, to heal. It is then that we have a chance to become more like him.